We live in a world obsessed with numbers. But for those who dare to live beyond them, there's infinity, an experience that can't be quantified. So stop counting and look beyond the numbers. Infinity, empower the drive.
A simple break can kill the children. And the Indian school system has faced this disasters. We lost our children in many accidents.
But where exactly do you see the Indian school system in Oman in the next 10 years?
Indian school system, the future is really bright, and it will remain as a system which caters to the needs of the Indian community members in a positive way. That's what I'm really optimistic about the Indian school system.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite an important interview lined up for you this week. It is with Mr. Wilson George, the chairman of the board of directors of the Indian schools in Oman. Mr. Wilson George, welcome to another edition of Coffee with Why. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much, and I'm really happy to be here with you today.
People have often touted you as a people's player, actually, a man with the people, and your transparency has won the hearts of many, especially as a chairman of the board of directors for 4 years. That is 2 tenures. That is a long time. So what can you tell me about your journey?
First of all, thank you very much for that good compliment as a people's player. It has been a really challenging journey, and it's almost 4 years now. As you know, the Indian school system is a complex system with different demanding stakeholders, and often the stakeholders' expectations conflicting each other because of lack of understanding of the system, or maybe lack of transparency and these things. So it was a tough time really to make some improvements in the system, to build trust and to bring up a team who work in a cohesive manner so that we can meet our objectives.
There have been quite a lot of reforms under you, including a fee structure change, improvement of bus safety systems in Indian schools in Oman. And what more have you done in these last 4 years?
It's a good question, and thank you for that. We have done a few things, definitely. And when I came to the board as the board member and chairman, what we have done first is to make a plan. We have made a plan for 2 years. We don't make for 4 years because the board term is 2 years. And we have put a lot of things under different categories. The first thing is academic, what we want to do for the next 2 years. And infrastructure, what we want to do for the next 2 years. And a value system, what we want to look at as a value system for us. And we spent about 2 months, 2.5 months discussing. The board discussed a proposal which I put forward, and the board members contributed to that proposal, and then we come up with the plans and programs for 2 years. And that plans and programs stipulate that we need to do these. And I followed that plans and programs, and the board members supported, and then we as a team have achieved I think more than 50% of what we planned at that time. And if you look at what was the plan, basically what we looked at was, we wanted to actually transform the Indian school system from an individual dependent system to a system dependent system. So we started talking about systems, procedures and manuals for doing the executing the various processes what happens in the school. So for an example, we developed a purchase manual, purchase and contracting manual. This manual is stipulating what are the requirements. When you want to purchase something for the school, when you want to do a contract with a party, what requirements you need to follow, going out on advertisement, how do you compare the quotations, what minimum number of quotations are to be there, who should approve what. And so we started putting a system in place so that the transparency of the system is established through this manual. And that is one of the major initiatives which we have done, to which we feel that we are transparent now in spending the money what we get as the fees. And we put people accountable for what they do. And similarly, we started human resource manual. You know, we have 2000 plus employees in Indian school system, and in the absence of a system, what happens is the employees are at the mercy of their immediate supervisors. If they are happy with them, then they are good. If they are not happy, there is a problem. So what has happened is, that's a very, very bad situation where instead of doing justice to my job, I have to please my immediate supervisor. This is a recipe for a disaster, and we had enough issues with that. So we spent about almost 2 years debating, because it's a complex and sensitive document, the human resource manual, which stipulate the recruitment processes, the performance appraisals, the leave and eligibilities of, and a lot of other things which is related to, important things which are related to the teacher's life or employee's life in the school. So we took adequate care to debate among all the stakeholders of the school system and come up with this manual, and that's a great achievement in my opinion. Now it's the workplace is more professional. So the objective of making a system dependent operations has been achieved through many of these manuals. And if you look at the health and safety area, we normally we don't give much importance to safety. And I would say that safety of my child is the first priority even before academics. For me, I want my child to be safe, either when he travel in the bus or in the school. So what we have done in this area is, which you mentioned, the safe transport system. It's actually a revolutionary concept which we brought in Oman schools. People, if you look at the normal transport, you see a car filled with 8 to 10 children and going on this highway at 120. It's a simple recipe for a disaster. A simple brake can kill the children. And Indian school system has faced this disasters. We lost our children in many accidents. And it was a sincere attempt from a people's perspective that we want to make our children's life safety and the safe school transport system. And that was the initiative which faced major resistance to change from the system also. We had serious challenges in bringing up, because there was a big system, big actually team, or maybe a group depending on this transport services, and they took it as a challenge or maybe a threat for their existence, which actually it was not. And so we had a lot of trouble, and the mindset of our stakeholders, even the parents themselves, a majority of the parents did not really find it as necessary, to be very frank. But that was, we had to overcome that mindset. But now it has become a reality, and we are very happy that we have a system with like seat belts. It takes care of a lot of safety aspects. We have cameras within the bus. Parents can be comfortable that nothing happens in the bus. If some incident comes up, we have the records of it. We have IVMS fit bus services which monitor the driving behavior, and it's a very good system. And just to let you know that when we did this initiative, we never had an instruction or maybe a rule based on this from the CBSE or anything. And we started this in the year 2015, and 2016 we have about 6 schools now having this safe transport system. It was in 2017, the CBSE back in India has come out with a directive to go for safe transport system, and we were very happy. Yes, we were very happy to see that we have done something which even CBSE thought about it, and that's a great thing. Yeah, and we started in the safety also. We have come up with a system of auditing the schools, conducting a safety audit within the school compound. If you go to the school, you can see many of the schools are old buildings and without real good passages, and we have a lot of safety hazards within the school compound. So we have engaged professional safety auditors and conducted safety audits in the school. Emergency drills, fire drills, all these things become mandatory. And eventually we have come up with a HSC club and HSC manual, wherein we try to now teach our children safety from the beginning. How to be safe on the road, how to be safe in the building, how to be safe in the school. And these all good changes, positive changes, which is going to give us a lot of benefit later. Yeah.
Apart from all of this, you also mentioned that the infrastructure is on the rise. What is new and what's coming up?
Infrastructure was one of the section in our plan, what we need to do. If you look at the situation a few years back, Indian School Muscat, for example, had only 6,000 students, and within no time it has grown up to a school with 9,500. But if you look at the infrastructure, it has not grown in that scale. So we had serious space limitations, and that has resulted in afternoon shifts and associated problems for the parents. Now, infrastructure, when I came in 2014, in our planning section, we put a few points, which was basically increase the classrooms, number of classrooms in the city schools, and we have increased the classrooms in Seep School. A good number of classrooms have been increased there. Mabela, we came up with two big additional phase projects, which has increased the number of classrooms by quite not many numbers. And we have now, if you have seen it from the news, that we are now going ahead with a new school construction to accommodate 4,000 children, which is the Alansab school. It was a dream, and it was there in the concept, and then we had the land quite a few years back, but it was just held up because of a lot of difficulties in permits and all those things. So when these both when I came into 2014, this was a discussion point as infrastructure enhancement, and we focused on that. We could come out of all this permits and all those things, get the right permits, and we tendered the contract, and we could eventually award the contract, and now it is 50% complete. If you drive down to the Alansab area, you will see that beautiful structure which is coming up. It's very visible, and then the area is changing, and that is going to be a great achievement for us. This is apart from the infrastructure initiatives which you have taken in many other places. Same thing in Ibra, a new school is coming up. You can see it from the main road. It's a good custom-made school coming up. In Niswa, we have done an additional full floor for the existing school. Major breakthroughs we had in infrastructure, and I'm very happy to see that once this Alansab school comes up in 2019, we are expecting it 2018 end, the building construction will complete, and we will be able to accommodate children in 2019 April, and that will be a final elimination of all this afternoon classes, which will be a blessing for thousands of parents. We have done quite a few, and I'm happy about it.
The Center of Special Education has opened a new wing in Salalah. When did that happen, and what was the reason for this implementation there?
It came as part of our objective to expand the services of the special education team across Oman, and we have a very good, fully equipped, beautiful center working as a part of the Indian School Muscat. And Mr. Baby Sam Samuel is our director in charge for the center, and the center has gone to a major change, a positive facelift actually during this last 1 year or 1.5 years, and it's now a very modernized facility. And as part of the expansion plans, we have been discussing with many other schools to start satellite centers and then branches of it, so that we can utilize the expertise and equipments and other support from the center with that. And Salalah came up in a very positive way, and then with the interest which is shown from the center by Mr. Baby Sam Samuel, and it got materialized, and we have a very nice center, and which got opened last week. I was in Salalah for the opening of it, and we have a good team at Center for Special Education, a very passionate team, and it requires special skills, and it's not just a job, it's a special divine work, in my opinion, which only passionate people can do. And we have got a good leader, actually Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, to lead it, and I'm really happy about the center's work under his leadership, and they're doing a good job.
Now here's a question that a lot of parents will be asking, because I have spoken to a few parents before this interview and they were very happy with your work. Will you be standing for another election? Is there a reason for that?
Yes, first of all, as you know, this is a voluntary job, and every one of us has got our own job, which officially what we do, and then we spend time for the school. This puts a lot of pressure on the people, and then we'll have to justify both sides. Our official job which we do to make a living, and also we need to justify the time we spend. There's no point in being there without doing really work. So there's 4 years I believe is really a good time I gave to the school system, and I also want to do justice to my job here. I don't want to come there and then sit and relax. That's not my way. And second thing, I also don't encourage people sitting in one position for a long time. So that's a recipe also for a lot of bad things, because always a cloud formation and then again, this type of thing. So it's preferable that you spend an optimum time where you can do your work in an efficient manner. And the last thing, which is also important, even if somebody wants me to stay back, even if I want to continue, it's not practically possible, because I'm not a parent anymore, so I cannot come to the board as a parent representative.
By that you mean to say your kids are out of the country and doing...
Yes, my kids are out of the country, yeah.
Anyhow, one last question. Now that you are signing off and hanging your coat, you can look back and say, I have achieved many of my agendas. But is there anything that you couldn't quite reach?
As I mentioned, I have planned what I want to do, and I used to review every year what I have achieved. There are a lot of things which I wanted to do which we couldn't do for various reasons, and if I would ask someone to do it, these are things like automation of the school system, like a lot of things, the developments in the teaching methods and modernization of the campus in the school system has not taken place yet. So we should work for modernizing our schools. We should look at what happens elsewhere in the world. And people say that the Finland system of education is the best system all over the world. And if you look at the school system there, it is completely stress-free. So that stress-free environment comes with a lot of contribution, redesigning, restructuring the system itself. So these are things which we wanted to make an attempt during this period, but unfortunately I couldn't do much on that because of time factor.
That's alright though, because you believe that the future of Indian schools is still positive. But where exactly do you see the Indian school system in Oman in the next 10 years?
It's a good question. Actually, Indian school system in Oman is a unique system. It's a community school system which you don't find in many parts of the world. You have government schools, but not really community schools run by the community. And we have been really trying our level best to maintain the system for the benefit of the majority of the community. And I sincerely believe that it will continue to be as a sound educational system in Oman, with the hard work and support of a lot of philanthropic citizens and also community members who are ready to work for the community. And I would see that a certain initiatives which we have started, certain foundation which we laid need to continue. And these are like the communication initiatives like parent forums, teachers forums, and the task force concept. All those things have been new to the system, to the Indian school system, and they have given us a lot of work. And we have gone up to certifying our Indian school system to ISO 9001. Quality certification system has come up for 2 of our units. All these things are achievement, and I would think that the coming board will take it further. And we have revitalized the whole appointments, internal growth perspectives have been increased. All these things, if the coming board takes care and then take it forward, and it be bright, the Indian school system, the future is really bright, and it will remain as a system which caters to the needs of the Indian community members in a positive way. That's what I'm really optimistic about the Indian school system.
Wilson George, it was a pleasure having you here, and we are very grateful to you for stopping by for this interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this time.